with myself. I'm in love with you, and I just can't help it myself. I'm in love.
Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know if you guys hear me okay, if sound is good. Let's make sure everything is coming through because I had all sorts of issues in European session. So please let me know first and foremost that sound is good and everything else. Sound is good. Thank you so much. Okay. Awesome. All right. Yeah, we had man, last couple of days, yesterday we had no sound. London was like really, really scratchy sound. So hopefully connection is good. Got about 800 megabits per second connection. So hopefully it's all working. I'm in Jersey today. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Hey guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? We are trading CPI coming up in about 25 minutes or so. I'm really glad everybody is. Hey Tammy, how are you? I'm glad everybody's crawling into the room. Should have a really good session. We have time now, so I thought today we'd take a look at the strategy and the thesis behind my trading and kind of explain to you everything I'm doing. I'm going to preface by telling you this is TradeZilla. These are my two prop accounts on TradeZilla that I put up. Those of you who are not familiar with TradeZilla, it's kind of like a go-to website for anybody who wants to share their results, because they'll basically import almost any trading software, from like MetaTrader to TradeAvate to Ninja. You can even manually import all your stuff. It's all really, really good. I will say this, because I want to be totally transparent with you, that this looks better than it is, because it doesn't have, I haven't figured out yet how to, built-in comms into this whole thing. So this is my gross P&L, and let's be. I'm going to show you my comms. It's going to get degraded by the amount of comms that I pay, commissions that I pay every single day. But that's not the point. Like, it doesn't fucking matter if I have $10,000 per day greens, or $1,000 per day greens, or $100 per day greens. The point that I kind of want to talk to you about today is the fact that I have greens, right? It's not about the gross amount of money, because that's just a function of trading. It's a function of what do you call it? Size. It's a function of your accuracy. All the bullshit. Those are, and it really, honestly, it doesn't matter if this screen shows 1 penny green every day or $1 million green every day for your purposes. Because what do you give a shit if I'm making $1 million a day or a penny a day? The point of kind of hanging with me is that you could emulate the process, right? The results are going to be your own. In fact, I guarantee you, most of you are going to have much better results than I do, because you're going to be much more focused on this than I am. Many of the guys in my room, dwarf these results in terms of the P&L. So again, the focus that I kind of wanted to talk to you about is the fact that it's greens. And if this is December, this is November, right? I mean, these are really, really good green numbers. Some of them, are tepid. Some of them are good. But the point is, they're all greens. So let's talk about, I just think it might be worthwhile. I mean, you tell me if you want me not to talk about it, but tell me if you think, tell me if you'd like to know what is the underlying thesis behind my process. Why am I getting all these greens, right? How is it that I achieve all these greens? If you give me a couple of yeses, you give me a couple of thumbs up, I'll get into it. Otherwise, it's a long conversation. I don't want to drag myself into it. I just thought we had a little bit of time before the event, so we talk a little bit about strategy. Let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to post the link to our friends at Apex in case you guys want the. You know what? This is it's not a 90% discount. It's a 71% discount. I forgot to update the link, but it's still a very, very, just bottom line is if you use that link, you get a really, really massive discount, which is what's really, really valuable. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Dunmin saying yes. Okay, let me see a couple more yeses, guys. I don't see too much enthusiasm for this. The question I have on the board right now is, do you want to find out how is it that I get green every day? Well, except for one day, this was Sunday, but how am I keeping myself green? It's really the question that I have up here. And I already disclosed that that this doesn't have comms into it, because I haven't figured out how to build comms into TradeZilla. but I will. And the point is that my point is that green every day adds up to this, right? Like this is really what you want. Can you get that? And this is what I try and do. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to do this, if you guys want. And this is actually pretty cool. I didn't even see that they did trade duration, trade time performance. Oh, look at that. This is duration. Okay, so this is really good. Fuck, I forgot how good TradeZilla is in showing you cool stuff. So this is showing you the length of trade that I do. You can see from like 1 second to about 1 hour, right? A lot of dispersion. But basically, if you see the dispersion, if you look at kind of like standard deviation, 67% of trades happen between about, let's say 30 seconds and about 10 minutes, right? And that's a really fair representation. There's actually a ton of trades here, so it's a pretty fair representation of what I do. And also you can see like most of the profitability comes in between like 9 and 1,300 hours, right? I mean, there's still, I trade Asia pretty nicely because I actually like trading Asia by myself. I don't have anybody to bother me, but really the most of the time it comes in like around here. But this is a kind of an interesting representation of what is it that I really do. It's a trade that takes between 30 seconds and 10 minutes to complete, right? That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool analysis of where we're at. So what that means, that's effectively a scalp trade. That's a scalp trade. Now, why do I do scalp trades? The answer is twofold. One, because it really suits my personality. I can't hold trades for a long time. I have zero patience. And I also have I don't have that killer instinct that, like some of my friends who trade do. In other words, and a lot of guys in my room do, who will take a trade and literally hold it for a couple of 100 points. Who will take a trade and hold it for, a day and a half and really squeeze all the trend move out of it. I am just not that guy. So it's very, very important to know what kind of guy you are and what is it that you do. This is why you can take my ideas and extend them in 100 different ways to suit your personality. And some of the people in my room have done that really, really well. But I'm just not that guy. So let's just start with the idea that I'm never going to be the guy that's going to make $1 million, but I'm also not going to be the guy who's going to lose $1 million on a trade, right? Which is typically always the guys who really have big, big wins also tend to have really, really big losses because, in order to be patient, you got to be willing to absorb a lot of losses, right? I'm the guy, like I always say, I'm the guy who's like the sparrow, who just plucks 100 times at a piece of bread, 1 calorie at a time. I feed myself 1 calorie at a time instead of, gorging myself on a big feast every day. So that's one reason. But the other reason I do this is because I genuinely believe that, at least the way I approach it, my risk is really well contained, simply because I'm stopping myself out very quickly on relatively small losses all the time. Because I know. Kathy's messaging me. Yeah, I told them. Hang on a second. Let me just message her. I told them. Okay. So, anyways, Kay is coming. Kay, are you coming into the room to bother me?
I can't when your screen is shared this way that
Okay.
it doesn't allow me to come on.
Okay, let me invite you. Kay is coming in here. Oh wait, why you wait? Oh, because I'm in a special view. You want to go to two-person view for a second?
Sure, I'd like to say good morning.
Okay.
Maybe talk a little bit about it. Maybe you can use the time.
Well, I was just getting into why I trade the way I do, and I was telling him my whole strategy. So thank you for interrupting, but you're welcome to come on board here.
Well, I don't want misinformation. It seems to be all over the place with the post on the chat as well as the banner on the bottom.
Okay.
So
anyways, my point is that, I trade very, very small. So let me just finish up, Kane. And what are you doing? Are you leaving? What are you doing? All right. Wait.
If you are talking, I'm going to let you talk. So when you're done, I'll come on.
Okay. All right. Fine. So I'm going to wrap this up pretty quickly because we can always talk about this in more detail. I just kind of wanted to, I had a chance to trade Zilla and just discuss with you, the whole idea of, what I'm doing and give you the basic idea. This is why I love doing live trading with you guys. This is why I want as many of you to bring in as many of your friends as possible to live trading, because you get to see every single day. It's actually almost easier for me to, once we get into live trading, to analyze, to show to you by example of what it is that I do. But the bottom line is what I do is I take very, very small risks all the time. And I try to compound them at small trades. So just to give you an idea, I have a $250,000 account I'm trading. I have a $6,500 drawdown. I never, ever try, rarely do I ever go beyond a $1,500 total loss on my trade position, right? But what that means is I try to make every single trade position a $40 to $50 win. So I am winning $50 10 times a day, $500 a day, boom, 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 boom. That's the methodology that I use. And I do that by, if I get stopped out, I then look for a different opportunity at larger size. I look at a different opportunity at larger size, look at a different opportunity at size. And by doing that, at starting with very, very small size and scaling myself up, I'm able to resolve every single trade cycle, not every single trade, but every single trade cycle into positivity and achieve consistency. So consistency is really the great thing that I try to do. A lot of people love that. A lot of people don't. Like, you don't have to follow my method. You can still follow my entries and structures, as I said. But if you like to achieve consistency, because so many traders in the room are always telling me, how is it that I achieve consistency? And this is what so many prop firms demand. This is why so many people have a hard time passing the prop, is because they can't achieve consistency. This is my, this is sort of, my reason for this is the reason how I'm able to do it. I'll show it to you guys, of course, as we trade, and come in every day. Those of you who are new, who are just joining us maybe for the event, come in every day and hang out with me. Bring all your friends. We are running, by the way, a really, really cool promotion. I'm gonna put the link in just 1 second. I'm gonna let Kathy talk and talk a little bit about the CPI. Let's put up the CPI numbers here. Unless you want to share your screen, I'm going to share my screen here with the core inflation. This is what everybody is looking for. Actually, really looking pretty hot numbers. Well, 3.3, that's the expected against a prior. I'm going to let her talk about it, but in the meantime, I'm going to find the promotion that we have, the 12 days of trading. Really, really cool giveaway event where if you enter into our contest, you're going to have up to $10,000 worth of free prizes. So I'll put that into the link in just 1 second.
Yeah, all that information, if you want to go on my X feed, you have the images as well as the links over there.
Yeah.
That's the best place to find them.
It's on both. It's actually if you go to both of our X feeds, you'll find them. But I'm going to put it into the link right now so you guys can have an easy access.
Okay, so as Boris said, the inflation report, as you can see here, is expected to be stronger, and that's important to be aware of. We've been talking about this all week, and we've been talking about how the inflation report, the market thinks that it's going to be hotter. I think there could be room for a downside miss simply because gas prices have been lower. And also the US dollar has been stronger, both of which, poses a downside risk to inflation. But we'll see. This is very important because, as you know, or may not know, the non-farm payrolls report last Friday basically caused expectations for the Fed to skyrocket. I mean, right now, the market is pricing in The market is right now pricing in 86% chance of a interest rate cut by the Federal Reserve. And so, this is huge. These are huge odds. 1 month ago was 65%. 2 weeks ago was 55%. So this, as you've seen how it could change significantly, can still change significantly on the back of the CPI report. When we trade big data, it's always important to get a sense of how is the market going into the report. And you can see, first off, let's actually go to our daily charts. Dow futures is lower. Dow futures are rolling over a little bit. There's definitely, support at various levels, like over here, and maybe even over here. But Dow futures, we've got what looks like 5 straight days of declines rolling over, but CPI can change things. Now, a lower CPI would drive stocks up. A hotter CPI would drive stocks down. Then you asked about how gold is doing. I've been bullish gold, pretty much since the beginning of the month. And we talked a lot about the seasonal factors that is positive for gold. And I've been long gold since the beginning of the month. And once again, we're in kind of pause mode. And if we get a hotter inflation report, that is going to drive up the dollar, drive down gold prices. If we get a lower inflation report, that could drive down the dollar and drive up gold prices. So the rally, the near-term rally continuation in gold hinges upon a weak CPI report. And a lot of you are asking, buy gold or sell gold? And the answer, we do not trade ahead of big releases. We trade after big releases because the technical outlook can completely change based upon that. Boris will be trading gold. I may be looking for some opportunities in currencies. We'll see if they exist or not. US yields are up. The US dollar is pretty much, if you look at my watch list on the right-hand side, the US dollar is up across the board. And it's up across the board because we are seeing the market position for that stronger report. So if we get the position ahead of the stronger report, then what will happen? Sandy, we always tell you what we're trading after the data. This is what we've been doing with all of our live trading sessions. So we don't necessarily jump in right away. We wait for the opportunity. But we like to prepare, we like to plan so that when the number comes out, we're ready to execute. So with this, what we're looking at is the dollar is up across the board. It's up against dollar yen, it's up against dollar Swiss, it's up against the euro. Now, against some of the currencies like dollar yen, it looks like it may be finding a little bit, dollar Swiss for sure, looks like it's kind of finding a little bit of resistance. Dollar yen as well. I personally think, because tomorrow we've got 3 things coming up after the inflation report. It's going to be the Bank of Canada rate decision at 9:45, I believe, a.m. New York time, followed by a press conference at 10:30. Canadian dollar has been very weak. This is, very front and center. I don't think I'm going to touch the caddy. Tomorrow we have the European Central Bank rate decision. And we have the Swiss National Bank rate decision. Now, euro has been testing 105 this morning, and it didn't close it below it, but I still think it looks quite negative. So if we get a weak US CPI, I think we'll be looking to go long dollar Swiss or dollar yen straight up. If we get a strong US CPI, I'm going to really be looking at selling euro dollars because of selling euro dollars, or also selling dollar Swiss, buying dollar Swiss, because that's where we have the divergence. And what I mean by divergence is that we have the Swiss National Bank expected to cut interest rates, the European Central Bank expected to cut interest rates. And if we have a strong US CPI, it basically reduces the chance of a Fed interest rate cut next week. So that would be the perfect trade. A strong US CPI would be sell euro dollar, buy dollar Swiss. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, let me know. And hold on. I just have someone who wants to ask me a meeting. Hold on.
In the meantime, I'm going to talk a little bit about gold while Kate does her thing. So people are asking a lot about gold because certainly gold has had a big power move through the 2700, 127.32 in Asia, kind of unwound the move right now. I think certainly gold is definitely going to be a very interesting trade because if we print hot, let's just, for example, say we print 3435, right? that could be really damaging to gold. That could take us right back down to 2,700. The reason being is because that really could put a cap on any further Fed rate cuts for the time being, right? Or at least, the market will think so for a moment or two. Trump administration really wants to see lower rates. They really want to see a lower dollar. That was all very, very positive for gold. Trump administration is very mercantilist in its approach. So there is this countervailing, force. On the other hand, let's imagine the best case scenario. Let's say we do 3-1, which is 20 basis points below what the market is looking. Let's say the core rate is 0.1 instead of 0.3. That's super, super positive for lower inflation expectations. It really puts the Fed rate hike essentially on automation, and that does take us possibly to 2750, and that really verticalizes gold, I think, as we go forward. So those are the two possible scenarios on the funder side. We'll obviously let the price action do its thing, and we'll use all of our indicators to get into the best possible positions. But that's where gold stands right now as far as.
So once again, if we get a weak report, I think we're going to look for opportunities in dollar yen straight up, and I think possibly, I think dollar yen straight up is probably the real trade. I was going to say possibly Aussie, but I think Aussie's got its own things that it's dealing with. But so I think dollar yen is the primary thing that we're going to be looking at. Dollar yen in general moves a lot more off of these reports than anything else. All right, so are you guys ready? If you're ready, give us the green hearts. Let us know that you're ready to hopefully make some money. We're about a minute away.
Okay, do you want to put yourself to the calendar thing on the side where it goes?
Absolutely not. That thing confused the hell out of me.
Okay, it's pretty easy to see now because it's a top
layer. It did not change from yesterday, from last week.
Yeah, but it's easy to see today. Why don't just change it for right now, just to see if it's easy for you to see. You see how it's giving you all the data up there, so they can actually see it with you.
I don't know. I mean, well, fine. We can see. We can leave it up. But
I mean, I'll call it out.
It was annoying as hell when we did it last time.
Well, you were unused to it. So I actually really like this feature because for those of you guys who are on TradingView has essentially real-time calendar releases, which is kind of cool. It tells you right away. I mean, price action will tell you right away anyways.
Yeah,
but it's just,
price action will generally tell you.
It's just good to see the actual data print. We're not going to jump in, by the way, unless I'm going to leave it to Kay. But unless the report is massively different from what is going on.
I'm going to put gold up here for a second. Yeah, go ahead.
We're not jumping. We're going to let this marinate for a little bit. So don't.
Well, with Forex trades, we're usually in quite quickly. With gold trades and indices, it gives it a minute. So 8:30. So it looks like a weak report. Sell. Is it weak?
No, same. Through 0.3, 0.33. So
it's not weak. I would sell your dollar. 1.0. Well, let's see. Let's give it a minute. And usually, I like to have 20 stop. 20.
It's as expected. Equities are acting a little bit. Equities are really.
All right. So it's as expected. I think that if it's as expected, it's more pro dollar than anti-dollar. I would take a punt and I would sell euro dollar at 105.18 and see if we get anything there. Because I think that it's these are hot numbers.
Yeah, it's as expected means it's not like what it's basically saying is inflation has not been beaten. It has been slowed, but has not been beaten. Does that mean the Fed isn't going to cut? I still think the Fed cuts. That's the thing. Gold is just really not reacting. Gold is just trying to figure out. Gold is sort of right exactly where it was at 27.26, trying to figure out what it wants to do next. Equities popped up a little bit. Nasdaq up 25 points from 460 to 485. But again, very muted reaction because there's no surprise. This is another thing that that you always have to appreciate. If the market had a number ahead of time and the forecast is the same as a number, then the event isn't going to have much of an impact. Maybe as the day progresses, people sort of absorb it and then it'll have a longer term impact. I would say that this isn't horrible news for doves. This isn't horrible news for gold bugs. It isn't horrible news for equity holders. So basically, it's all positive risk, in my opinion.
It is the most boring news possible. In line with expectations. It's not giving us any movement. The one thing that I think, we're short euros right now at 105.18. It's the only trade I have on. We'll see if we get any movement there. The only thing that I think is really kind of important to realize is that if you look over here, inflation increased from the previous month, 2.6 to 2.7. The core inflation rate held steady. Now, the core inflation rate is 3.3%. And the Federal Reserve, any major central bank, wants the inflation rate around 2%. So 3.3% is really, really high. You contrast that with the Euro area, where core inflation rate is 2.7%. The Fed has a lot more work to do. So that is why ultimately, the trade that the only trade that I've taken is we sold euro at 105.18. And the only reason this one is probably moving, because you're not seeing as much movement in dollar yen, is because we've got the ECB tomorrow. And
that having been said, though, guys, just want to let you know, according to Forex Live, Fed cut pricing for next week is up to 95% from 85% after the news. So the news may be hot, but not surprising. Market still thinks the Fed, and then you see a risk now starting to race higher. Gold is starting to push up a little bit higher, and so does NASDAQ. Just kind of, it is, on face of it, not great news, but because it's expected and it's not any worse than it is, the market continues to be positive risk, I think. So anyways, go ahead.
So, we haven't seen much movement in euro dollar. It did get down as far as 105.02, but Boris always likes to jump in right when I'm ready to think about taking profits. It's just not, but at the end of the day, I think it's just a wait and see. If it clears back above, I would say this high here at 105.28, so it's only like a 10 pip stop, then it's probably going to go to 105.40. Otherwise, I would hang tight or, scratch out, because it's really not doing much at all. But I still think ultimately you can see gold prices are rising. Is there any trade for you in gold, Boris?
Not quite yet, but I am looking to get long gold on a pullback here. So gold just crossed the 200 period SMA at 27.29. It's actually gold 27.32 is I believe the session highs. So watching that pretty carefully. I'm kind of interested to see how we trade. I
love gold. I've been talking since the beginning of the month how strong the seasonality is for gold. And, we've been showing this information, which I love that TradingView provides us down here.
Now you kind of bullied me into a trade. I'm just gonna go take a punt here on a small trade here on gold. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, and I'm let me tell you where I'm at, and then where am I? I'm at MGC.
What did you do? Tell us.
Where am I? Oh, I am in at 29 and 28.729. Chasing.
I'm sorry, what's the price? It's 26.99 right now.
No, we're trading futures, so it's 27.29 on the futures side. I'll show you my screen in a minute. So I'm in on the futures side at 27.29 on the futures, targeting 27.31. It's probably gonna, yeah, there we go. And I'm gonna eat the stops because I don't like to chase, and it's always gonna be there. But it's fine. I'm actually very, very bullish this position, so I'm happy to come and buy some more at 27.25 if it gets down there. So we will. I think we're going to stay long gold. Actually, the other half of the position is improving. So we'll see if we can make the target at 27.31 basically on the next trade. So I think gold overall should be a positive trade today, and I'm going to try to position myself positive bias as usual. I like to buy them on a dip instead of buying them on a rip. I bought them on a rip just because, Kate bullied me into it. I'm blaming her for this. But the rip trade is working right now. Like I am 12, 13 points, to the profit. And, maybe we'll hit 27.31 in just a few seconds. We'll see. We'll see what my...
you want to show your chart so you actually see the right prices?
Yeah,
or you just put... Yeah.
You can see my chart right now.
I can't see it. Can you zoom in? The lines are really small.
Yeah.
A little bit more. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay, so we're 10. I'm looking for like 20 ticks, which is $2 in futures where it's 16 ticks, 20. And there we go, and we're done.
Yeah, so gold, long gold, definitely, is working out. That seems, as I said, I was showing you this earlier. I'm super, super bullish gold. I mean, I've been long gold since beginning of the month on the pure seasonal basis. That December and January are very bullish gold. And on Monday, we talked about how there's a breakout almost happening in gold. I posted a video yesterday about the breakout in gold and how, it's likely that we are going to go over here. It's likely that we're going to go at least to over here. I'm going to get rid of the seasonality so it doesn't distort us. It's going to go at least over here and probably even over here. But I think, minimally, we're going to get to this level over here in gold. So, that would be a very, very nice move.
Somebody's asking me, why is this news positive for equities? For example, why is NASDAQ right now trading at above 21,500? Look at this move in the NASDAQ. We're definitely going to try to buy the dip in NASDAQ if we can get it. The answer is very simple. Rates are going down. Low cost of capital does two things. It makes companies borrow cheaper rates. It also makes their earnings worth more, because if rates are lower, then the price earnings multiple can expand. Therefore, prices for stocks can expand. So anything that allows price earnings multiple to expand and cost of capital to decrease, super positive for equities. Of course, NASDAQ is the rocket fuel of equities. That's the most sensitive to any positive or negative news on the intratrade front, and it's responding accordingly. So that's the answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, the dollar is clearly starting to move lower. The market has completely shrugged off the news. We got only 15 pips in the euro dollar, so it wasn't even enough to hit our profit target. I tried to be a little bit more fluid with it, and it didn't happen. I think that, with dollar yen, we could see dollar yen's gotten very overbought. We could see a deeper retracement in dollar yen. Down to 152, for example. But really the moves this morning are very, very muted. Sometimes we get big event moves, like non-farm payrolls was huge. Sometimes, we can't always predict the data, and it was right in line with expectations, which is probably the most boring outcome possible. And, nothing happens. I don't see Aussie Swiss looks like nothing to me. Dollar CAD, we've got the Bank of Canada coming up. There's no real. The yen pairs look like they're flaming out a little bit, but not much more than that. I don't really see. Let's look at euro yen. And when there's no trading opportunities, sometimes we have to sit on our hands to because not taking a trade is also a trade itself. I mean, euro yen short looks interesting. Looks interesting, 160.24 with the stop over at 160.50, which I think is a nice and tight stop. That looks like an interesting possible trade. But that's pretty much it.
Just letting you know, let me just show you my screen. I just went long 2,700 in gold. Remember, I love buying the dips, and this was a nice clean dip. And now I'm almost at target. And now we're at target at 29. Don't worry, if you guys.
I would close the euro dollar trade pretty much. It's like up a pip now. It's not really going anywhere. I would just end up closing it. It looks like if you're going to sell euros, maybe the best expression is through euro yen, if it gives us any opportunity.
Okay.
But gold seems to be moving. I mean, it seems like rolling this morning.
A lot of times, the only thing you need in trading is just to have the right bias, and if you have the right bias and you buy the dips on that bias, it all works. If you're correct on the direction and you just get good price location, that's all you really need, and that's really all I'm trying to do right now.
We got a question about dollar CAD. I mean, dollar CAD looks severely overbought. This is the highest level we've seen dollar CAD since. Let me fix my chart.
Where's dollar CAD now? Like
it's 140, almost 142. This is the highest level we've seen since the pandemic. But even if it was the pandemic, it's really the highest level we've seen. If you ignore these spike blips. I mean, it's pretty much near the highest level since 2003. So this is a pretty big deal. Ooh, look at euro yen. For those of you who sold it with me at 160.34. I mean, look, right now it's 160.09. Looking good.
Nice. Good job. So one of the things you'll notice, by the way, it's interesting, is that there's a little bit of a different style of trading that Kathy and I have. Kathy is much more of a momentum trader, right? So she will sell the dip and buy the rip if she feels confident enough there's continuity. All of her setups are really based upon momentum and continuity. My setups are a little bit more, or at least my preference, not my, you can trade my setups as a momentum setup as well. I'll talk about that. But my setups are always based upon the retrace versus continuity, which kind of brings me to maybe an interesting poll question for everybody. I'm going to post this up right now. Are you a continuity or a retrace trader? I'm actually curious to know.
Okay, so I wanted to say one more thing about dollar CAD. It's severely overbought. We've got the Bank of Canada rate decision in about an hour. 25, 50 basis points, kind of a really tough call, because the thing is that the economy, I mean, the reason why they would do 50 basis points is the economy is weak, the unemployment rate increased, the threat of tariffs is a serious problem. But at the flip side, why would they do less? I mean, think about it. Inflation, I actually posted this on my X, which I'm going to show you. By the way, make sure you participate in our 12 days of trading. We're giving away $10,000 worth of trading tools and prop trading challenges. Just click on the link. Boris, if you can drop in the link.
Yeah, I just dropped it. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop it again right now, guys. I'm just going to drop it again for you.
So what I want to say was that inflation, right here, look here. Inflation is up from the previous month. And the Canadian dollar is weak. So by doing 50, they would basically drive the Canadian dollar even weaker and drive inflation up. Now, it's up from the previous month, but it's really not that bad. Remember how we saw the US? It was like 3.3% this morning. It's at 2% in Canada. So it's really, even if they had an uptick, it's really not that bad compared to to other parts of the world. But the real problem is the Canadian dollar. Do they want their currency to get even weaker? They have the bandwidth for it because inflation is not that high. Maybe they want to secure things and maybe get some more export activity going before the tariffs happen. So all of that could justify 50. And I think this is certainly a case for 50 basis points. Because if you see this, you'll see that there is more red than there is green. And, for tonight, I'm going to put out the SMB chart. Tomorrow morning, you're going to get the European Central Bank chart, so you can also follow along with me. But that is, very, very important. Just to give you a little teaser, what's going on for the 12 days of trading? Today, we're giving away 3 months free to Boris's Pass the Prop Trading Coaching Program. Tomorrow, we're giving away a $100,000 Apex trading account, prop trading account. On day 3, we're doing a giveaway for my fundamentals trading course. On day 4, we've got a webinar, 1 trade a day strategy, just 1 trade cycle series a day. That's all you need. So, and then you get lifetime access. 1 lucky winner will win lifetime access to Zip. And so that is going to be, incredible as well. So much going on for the 12 days of trading, all completely free. Just click on that link if you can. Boris has dropped that link in. Just click on that link and register. There's a couple things you need to do. You need to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Follow us on some of our social media channels. If you do that, you've got your raffle.
The best thing you can do that gives you the biggest amount of points is bring a buddy in. If you bring a buddy in, it gives you like a lot of points.
Tell a friend. Refer a friend.
Tell a friend.
Yes. So anyway, my point is that the Bank of Canada faces a dilemma today, 25 or 50 basis points. What's another question I just saw? Pound dollar. Where's pound dollar? Pound dollar. Okay, so nothing is going on in UK this week. It is compared to the Eurozone, which got rate decision, compared to Switzerland and Canada and the US, nothing going on for the UK this week. And so it's all based upon the market's appetite for dollars. And clearly, the dollar is weakening a little bit. And so the pound dollar looks like it could squeeze up to 128.626. I think the more interesting opportunities are probably in the pound crosses. I personally don't trade the pound crosses because they're so volatile. But in general, I think there's a little bit of an upward bias simply for no information or lack of data from the UK this week.
Hey, Kay, there's a question here about your book. That's kind of interesting. Which of your book goes over?
Which of your book goes over fundamentals? The one that's most comprehensive, day trading and swing trading currency market, but I think it's like at least 10 years old, if not older. So our YouTube channel covers a lot, but the Forex Fundamentals course, which we've got an amazing flash sale coming up on, you're going to be blown away I'm trying to figure out who this Luigi Mangoni guy is. If you can't see, I've been so busy trading or doing
everybody's
I have not done my research on Luigi Mangoni yet and his story.
Everybody's obsessed with Luigi Mangoni.
Yeah, so it's on my X because it's on my to read about him.
Don't worry, I've already gone down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I have not gone down the rabbit hole yet, but I plan to.
Okay.
Anyway, what am I trying to say?
Oh, yeah, no, the book you're talking about, the book and the channel and the fundamental course. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's because
the best thing is the fundamental course because it's the most up to date and has the latest cutting edge information that you guys can get.
Yes. All right, guys. So we caught that. We squared up on Eurodollar flat. We caught some pips on Euro Yen. In our BK room, we also sold dollar yen. So those of you as BK traders, we made money in dollar yen and Euro Yen. Dollar Swiss, this is an ugly reversal candle. I mean, this is as ugly as it gets, right? Let's look on our zip charts and see where we're at. Right now, we're attempting to move into, where's dollar Swiss? We're attempting to move below the indicator line. It hasn't quite happened yet, but it looks like it wants to get down there. But overall, I think dollar Swiss looks pretty ugly. I think
dollar Swiss, by the way, is kind of like a proxy.
Hold on, we do have that SMB rate decision, so I would not step in front of it. I think dollar yen is the one that's kind of quote unquote all clear, where we don't have an immediate rate decision.
Okay, but longer term, just sort of as a shorthand proxy to let you guys know, dollar Swiss is a pretty good proxy for just the dollar index itself. So if you're seeing dollar Swiss weak, most of the time, unless there's some incredibly important micro consideration around the Swiss economy, like Kay is saying, maybe the S&P decision, it's actually a reflection on dollar strength, dollar weakness. So.
Yeah, I need to talk about the Swiss National Bank because it's also 25 or 50 basis points tomorrow. What are they going to do? Swiss data has been terrible. When you saw that Canadian chart I showed you, it was like some green, some red. Switzerland, it was like all red. And I'm going to post it tonight. You'll see it.
Why has Swiss data been terrible? Is it because it's too expensive? The currency is too expensive now?
Well, it's not just that, because it's also retail sales. That's domestic. That's been weak. Labor market conditions have been softening. I think, but what I want to say is that interest rates right now are 1%. Euro Swiss, look at this chart. It was really funny. I was at my son's basketball game last night, and it is my first time going. And all these dads were sitting around like, what are you doing? What are you looking at? Are you looking at, are you trading right now? And, it's like I got so much more engagement from them than my husband does when he goes to the basketball games. Anyway, I was looking at this chart. I was looking at Euro Swiss. And the fact that, look at this. It is at a record high. Sorry, it's a record low. I'm going crazy. It is at a record low. And so this is a huge problem. This is the biggest problem for Switzerland. And one of the main reasons why they're suffering, because the currency is so strong and Euro area is their number one trading partner. So they need to do 50 basis points in order to hopefully stop this slide. But if their rates are 1%, if they do 50 basis points, it's going to take it to 50 basis points. So how much more room can they do later on? And, that's really the dilemma they face. Do they want to bring it to 50 basis points and take that bull move and pretty much, run out of room to cut? I don't think they care about that as much because they've said to us already that they could do negative. But
But do they really want to go down that rabbit hole again?
I mean, let's talk about this. It's like, what could they do to stop this? Could they do this again? Who remembers this? Boris remembers this.
Yes, I do.
You want to talk about that? I bet you, who does not know what happened to Euro Swiss in 2015? I'm sure lots of them would like to hear about it. Was it 2015? Yeah.
It was 2015. Oh my God, it makes me feel old. Well, this was the Euro Swiss.
Wait. This is a test. If you know what happened, put thumbs up. If you have no idea, and you want to talk about this huge decline, which I remember from I think it was Monday or one of the other, last week, where many of you told me that you did not live through the Trump administration. You were not trading during the first Trump term. And so you didn't know about the on the toilet, 9 p.m. tweets and what to do about them. And so if you were not trading in 2015, or you do not know what happened in 2015, give me a thumbs down. If you do, give me a thumbs up.
You're getting some thumbs up from everybody. So this was Salman is saying it was the flash crash of the Euro Swiss, because for the longest time Euro Swiss had a floor. The S&P just had a floor underneath the currency, and then one morning everybody comes in and the floor broke, and when that broke, it just flushed everybody out. And as a matter of fact, it hurt a lot of people, including like our former broker who we used to work for, because they had a lot of their customers had a lot of positions that nearly ruined them. So this was a very, very tumultuous event.
I'm going to make this more high energy. Basically, what happened was Euro Swiss at the time, as you can see from this chart, it did not move from this level. And this level was the big number, 120. And everyone thought, and pretty much the Swiss National Bank had a 120 bottom in Euro Swiss, saying that they would not allow Euro Swiss to drop below 120. And it's for a very long time. This is like basically from 2012 all the way to 2014. They tried to test the bottom of it. They said that there's no way they were going to, that this is the floor in Euro Swiss. But, sometimes, the pressures of the world, the growth, the economies are so strong, you can't fight it. It's like when the Bank of Japan intervenes, they're fighting the underlying trend of what's happening. And sometimes they realize they just can't fight it anymore. They're just going to have to let it happen and then revisit. So I remember we were trading at this time. And I personally, I'll admit, I didn't think it was going to happen. I, did not think that the central bank, because, at the same time, I'd never lived through that before. And I did not then think the central bank was going to let the bottom fall and break. Boris, on the other hand, who's older than me, did.
Thank you for that.
It's like a little jab. He was on CNBC, I remember, saying that this could happen. And lo and behold, it happened. It caught everyone off guard. It led to the demise of brokerage firms because they had such a big position against it. And this basically happened in one day. And this was like a 20% move lower in one day. Now, of course, this is what the S&P wants in some ways, right? You break it and then it flushes everyone out and it bottoms out. And that's what happened. It flushed everyone out and it bottomed out. So we are below that point here, below the uncle point for the Swiss National Bank back in 2015. So,
we're actually we're below parity, which is just insane.
Yeah. So they really do not want this to continue to go down.
Maybe you want to explain why, why that's so terrible for them? Because the strength that their whole market is Europe. They sell into Europe. That's their biggest market. And if their currency is so strong that everything they make is so expensive, it really, really handicaps their ability to be able to sell to all those European consumers, and also even Europeans coming in for tourism and all the other stuff that's so valuable to them. So
my point is that they need to come out with something bold if they want to stop this. If they want to stop this, they need to come out with something bold. I mean, there's no floor right now that people are talking about. I don't know what they're going to do, but they need a situation where it goes down like this big time and then bottoms out and then comes back. Otherwise, sentiment is so bearish. You're Swiss, they can't, they've, as a central bank, they need to do something. So beware of the sharp downside that may finally lead to a bottom in Euro Swiss. So hopefully that was a little bit of history for you. I have to drop off. I've got a call in 4 minutes, and I've got to read about Luigi Mangione afterwards because I'm so far behind on his story.
Guys, I just posted the link again onto the 12 days of trading. I actually finally put it into my templates, so now it's going to be easy for me to post that link for you. Be sure to register. Be sure to have fun. We're going to have a great time. It's a relatively slow time in the marketplace for the next couple of weeks. But it's going to be a lot of fun for us because everybody gets a chance to have up to $10,000 worth of free giveaways that we're doing. So
yep, and I am wearing my swag today, so I am repping BK Traders this morning.
Good job.
All right, thank you so much. We made money in gold. We made money in euro yen. It wasn't as exciting as I hoped it was, but hopefully it was very educational because we had to talk about Euro Swiss, which I think many of you did not know about, and we are there. We are at levels that something could happen. And so let's all, it's important to be aware and prepared for when it happens. All right, so maybe Luigi should have gone to trading. Can you give me like a 60-second recap? What I want to know is what are they saying is the reason for doing this for us?
Nobody really knows because it's incredibly difficult to ascertain. But the idea is that he comes from a wealthy, privileged family.
Yeah.
He had apparently some kind of an accident. He had a lot of back issues and back injury problems. I think his run-in with the healthcare industry denying him service or denying stuff like that may have triggered him. Maybe his own pain triggered him. It's not even clear. I'll be honest with you. It's not even clear that he is the guy. I know that everybody thinks that's what the authorities telling you. But if you go down the rabbit hole, he doesn't look like the guy in the pictures. He doesn't quite look the same matching. He's acting very weird. But there's also evidence that they caught him with a manifesto. They did a text analysis of the manifesto, thinking that he couldn't have written it. It actually looks like he may have written it, given his social media.
Did he sit at a McDonald's waiting to be arrested?
He did. But here's the weird part: like he was sitting in McDonald's. His social media profile, I believe it was either IG or Facebook picture, had him with a McDonald's Happy Meal on it before this. Like, it's so bizarre. There are just so many elements. Like, why is something that was so pre-planned and premeditated became so such an easy give up for him? Why is a guy who's 130 IQ basically carried all the incriminating evidence on him when the police were there, unless he wanted to be caught? And maybe he does. Maybe he's a Ted Kaczynski. Maybe he's just one of those really, really smart but crazy people who had a premeditated murder, but then just wanted to be caught and prosecuted. We don't really know. But the story is definitely capturing everybody's attention right now. So we'll know more.
All right. Thank you so much for that recap. Maybe I don't have to do my research anymore, but I have to run. I've got a meeting, and I will see you all either in the markets.
Yeah. Somebody's saying, how come about him 24 hours how come we know more than 24 hours than we do about the various assassins for Trump? It's very true as well. Yes, I agree with you guys. All right. Hey, guys, let me just grab the screen that I need. Hang on, let me just do this one. This one? No, this one. Okay, and I want to go share my screen. Wait, this one. Okay, cool. Now we're good to go. All right, very, very cool. Hi, guys. Hi. It was a lot of fun. God, it was great to have Kay come in. I didn't expect her to come in today, but it was really, really nice. Super fun. Again, don't forget the 12 days. That's a lot of fun. Don't forget my friends at Apex, which I also, this is the wrong link. It's the right link. It's just the wrong numbers. It's actually 50% off, but it's still a really, really good savings. I actually, you know what? It's good to have Kay here because she has the what I call, customer eyes on the screen. I realized that if I have it at this resolution, right? Tell me if I'm correct. If I have it at this resolution, you guys can really, really see the trades really well. Right, you can see the entries really well, and everything is good. So give me a thumbs up if you like this really fat ass resolution that I put on the screen, which I think looks pretty good, right? Yeah, everybody give me a thumbs up over here. No, Daniel's giving me thumbs down. Why you give me thumbs down? Peter, give me thumbs up. Okay. If you give me thumbs down, I need an explanation why it's why you don't like it, or unless you just simply don't know what a thumbs up emoji is and you reversed it. That's possible too. Right now, you're being outvoted about 5-1, 6-1, 7-1. So I'm going to assume that you just simply hit the wrong emoji. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys like this high res. There was another opportunity here to buy gold, but Kay was talking, and I didn't want to bother you guys. But there was another great scalp over here. As you can see, right now we're basically positive bid gold. We're looking to we're looking to maybe do another buy dip with one caveat. And you guys know this is my Achilles heel. I love to sell tops. And as I'm looking at gold right now, so what's going on over here? The moving averages are getting wide, not so wide that we're getting the red notice over here, because it's only 30 basis points. So when the blue is above the red, it's 30 basis points wide. That's telling us it's really at an extremely overbought condition. We want to start looking for shorts, right? It hasn't quite gotten there yet. And more importantly, and this is what I'm going to do. If I'm not doing this, you're allowed to just yell at me all week, all month long. If I don't do this, I'm not going to pick the top until my indicator tells me a top is in. And the indicator is only going to tell me that once the extreme conditions come in and I see a lower high. It's then, and only then, it's going to start printing a black sell label. If it prints a black sell label, then we can consider maybe shorting. I am really tempted to sell the 735s. I always fall into this very bad habit from old days of trying to sell levels and instead of trying to sell positions. This is something that ironically enough, the indicator is designed to completely hang on a second, guys. I'm sorry, I just want to get myself organized. The indicator is actually beautiful because I've taken the time, the effort, the logic to figure out when tops and bottoms actually begin to appear instead of trying to guess them, right? But I'm still, old habits die hard. I still love to sell round number levels. So 35 was the high of the day. I love to sell the highs of the day. 40 is going to be a round number. I'm going to love to sell that. That may not be the signal that we need. Just to give you an idea, if I go back into gold here, I'm trying to see if I could find, I don't see how it's not giving me any signals. Where were the signals? Oh, maybe it was, let me go into replay mode here. Let me just make sure that I'm properly, I know why, because I had the wrong configurations. It's 30s and 20s. We want to do a 30-20 config. Okay, so you see how it's giving you sell signals over here. And some of them are frankly a little bit early here, but most of them are actually pretty good sell signals. If maybe it takes you 2 efforts to resolve it, but it's actually giving you pretty good sell signals over here. So until I get a sell signal here in gold, which I don't have right now, when I zoom in, I'm not gonna be selling anything. Let's going into S&P and Nasdaq. We're about 20 minutes away from market open. They're both pretty wide. S&P is at 27 basis points wide, around the 60-75 level. It's all positive risk, right? The trades were really right here. Now, here's what, again, what I want to talk to you about. Oh, and Nasdaq is really wide. Nasdaq is now in this, maximum width reached. It's really looking at high, high moves. Here's what I want to talk about today. One of the reasons why I've gotten better, and if you want to stay green, like I showed you, if you want to stay everyday green like I try to do and not do some stupid things like I do, the most important thing that you want to do when you're scalping is not, like right now, there's no reversal signals, right? It looks like it's a strong trend, but it is so far above on the stretch side that yes, maybe it can go to 25, 580, maybe it can go 25, 600 on a momentum basis, but it also puts you in an incredibly vulnerable position. If you buy over here and we start to crash 30, 40 points, you're not going to be, it's going to take you maybe 4 or 5 trades, very, very large size, to try to recover that position. So it's much, much more intelligent. Even if you're long, if you're hardcore, I'm risk on, I want to be long equities, I want to be this, to wait patiently until the moving averages compress into a more reasonable level, and you can buy them underneath the short-term moving average. It's not that it's a guaranteed win. It's not that it's always the best strategy, but it is the highest probability strategy, right? That's the whole point. All you can do is trade the best possible process. And if you don't trade the best possible process, you get into a lot of trouble. Now, my system is designed to get us out of trouble, but sometimes it's not a miracle worker. Sometimes if you get yourself into trouble at a super high level with super bad retraces against you, you're gonna die. You gotta wipe it out. You're gonna hit level 6. You're gonna take like a $2,000 loss unnecessarily. You're gonna take a big loss and not be able to repair it. For a couple of days. So no need to do that. My point is, no need to do it, even though it looks really, really good. If this is going to be good for the next 2-3 hours, if equity's really, really going to hold bid here on the assumption that inflation is bad but not terrible, and Fed is going to continue cutting, you'll get more opportunities. You just have to be patient. Sweetwater says, exactly right. Hard to chase turns into gambling. It really does. It kind of does turns into, one man's gamble is another man's momentum trade, right? That's how it always works. Oh, hey, is that a pizza on there? That's a nice avatar over there. But the point is that that's not where you want to be, unless you are that type of person. My friend Deli loves to buy momentum and then press it. Like if you're the type of person that buys this breakout, adds to the breakout, and just made tons of money by having the flow go your way, great. That's your setup. Be my guest. I'm looking at the poll here. For a while, I was leading. I was gonna rag on Kathy and say, hey, retrace traders are ahead, but it looks like 60-40 continuity traders leading retrace traders. So if you want to see, by the way, the continuity signals on this particular indicator, we're going to go into continuity mode right now, and I'll mute the retrace mode, and you see that this is all the green breakout signals. Even in continuity mode, you don't have you haven't had a signal in Nasdaq for about 20 minutes because it's just so high up. In the S&P, same kind of a thing. Here's the continuity signal here, the 69s, really, really far away. In gold is starting to come down. See, I knew I should have shorted this, but I don't want to get into bad habits with you guys. I knew that 35 was going to be an easy short. Anyways, it doesn't matter because the proper trade for us right now, what we should be looking at, let me just get out of continuity mode and go into retrace mode. We're going to look for a green candle. We're going to look for a retrace dip, right? It's still high up. This is a pretty wide trade. So the good trade will be somewhere around maybe 29 and ideally 27 if it comes all the way down here. But if we get a green candle here, I'm more than willing to come and tangle with the market. I think it has a chance here to at the very minimum run for a double top on this move. So I'm going to watch this candle over here. This candle closes green. It's giving me a retrace green signal. Is it strong? No. Do I feel 80% confident in it? No. Do I feel 60% confident in it? Maybe. Do I feel 55% confident, which is enough to get me into a trade? Yes. That's barely. I'm sort of like, this is sort of like my minimum threshold of where I want to be in terms of buying it. Do I think it's going to be a stop out? Most likely. But do I think I'll ultimately be able to repair this? Absolutely. So let's get, where are we? 20 seconds left. Oh, this thing is starting to rock now. Let me see if I can get in here. Okay, I'm 32.4. Let's see if I can get into this trade. Yeah. All right, I'm in at 34.2 on this trade, which means I'm targeting 34.4 with a 34 stop. So that's actually a pretty decent area. If I get stopped out in the 30s, it's not a bad place. If this thing runs, it'll run for a double top. It looks like it's probably going to come down. If it dips below into the 30s, I'll be a buyer again, and then I'll be a buyer again at the 28s, which will put me right at the long-term moving average, and hopefully we can be able to resolve it there. This is a small trade for me. Like, it's just two micros. So it's a $40 trade. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, we will repair it. That's the game plan on the trade. As a matter of fact, one of the tricks I showed my coaching, and one of the things you're going to get, by the way, in let me show this to you. I'm actually going to show this to you on the screen so it's easier for you to see. Here's the trick to use, but very, very important. Very important. Oh shit, where am I? Okay, here we go. Very important not to screw this up. Wait, hold on. 4. Oh, I'm in 32. Here's my stop. Sorry, this is my stop. I'm going to put 4 bid on my stop. So this is a trick that really, really works well if you're kind of a fast retrace trader like I am. The idea here is if the trade doesn't work, by the way, where am I? Was it like, oh no, I still have a long way to go. I'm looking for 34.4. If the trade stops me out, this ensures that I'm going to be able to get larger at lower size pretty much instantaneously, right? Now, if this trade gets filled and I actually make a P&L on this thing, then I am, I'm sorry, I'm just watching this. If I get, if this thing gets filled at profit, then I need to very, very much cancel this 4 lot over here. Otherwise, it's going to be a hanging order. And if I don't pay any attention, it could execute by itself, right? So very, very important to kind of know the techniques. All right, I'm going to take this off screen, guys, so you guys don't need to watch this. And we will go back to just watching the charts. So this is actually, look, the chart is kind of giving me the first week high. See this is a 4L black chart. It's telling me it hasn't been able to make a lower high. It feels to me like gold is going to retrace. I mean, I knew this was kind of a bogus trade. I could have taken, I guess I could have taken like $1 profit on this thing, but I was trying to show you technique. So it's, I don't care either way. We'll resolve this one way or the other on the trades. But I wanted to. You know what? I'm going to exit out on this trade because here's what's going on here. Look what's happening. It's giving me oh, hang on a second. Let me get rid of exit all my other trades. Okay, yes, I exited my 4 trade too. So now, we tried to to buy the dip. It was clearly kind of a weak dip. Although working now, it's giving me a sell signal, right? It's giving me a sell signal into the highs. Now, if you're a degenerate trader like me who loves to sell highs, this is a great sell signal, right, at the 35s. So you want to do this with me? I'm going to try and see if I can. So I'm going to get short this thing, and it's probably going to go run up through as my wife so lovely says, run up through my ass against me, which is fine because I'm relatively confident that even if this thing goes into 38s, 39s, I'll be able to short it because the momentum here kind of petered out a little bit, right? It's ready for a retrace. It's ready for some profit taking. Although, momentum moves, momentum runs. Now, this is my own personal trade. You don't have to. Do not have to. And I'm laying out 4 over there. You do not have to fight the market with me. I just love to fight the market. It's just you get to see all my bad habits on display here, and see what I like to do. But at least I'm going to do my bad habits with purpose and structure in mind. Like if you're going to trade against trend, you damn well better have at least some logic and thesis behind your positions and a structure of how you want to trade it. So, we'll see how much trouble I get into fighting this market. Clearly, the trade was to the other side. I gave it up a little bit too early. Those of you who may have stayed in the trade got the full 20 ticks profit. Now I'm short this thing as it's running away from me. And if it goes to 36.6 and stops me out, I'm going to try to get into that trade at a larger size, at a bigger size. If this thing kind of peters out and does a double top, maybe I'll be able to resolve this thing to the downside. We'll see. It's good for us. It's actually good that we're trading gold because we're not going to be trading S&P and Nasdaq until the market opens. So no reason for us to putz around on that. What is the scalper indicator that I'm showing right now? It's an indicator that I made privately for everybody who's a member of our group. If you want to join our group, I'm going to just give you a discount link here. You can join us and you'll get the indicator. It's called the BFF Scalper. It's a private indicator on TradingView. You won't find it anywhere, but it's a great indicator. And I have like a little video that if you want to know a little bit more about this, there we go. This is a YouTube video that gives you the rules of the indicator. If you're interested, you can look at the rules, and then you can come join us if you like. So 9:17, 13 minutes to the market open. We're fighting the trend as you know. I'm like that John Cougar Mellencamp song. I fight authority. Authority always wins. That's a song that is just the anthem of my personality. Who remembers John Cougar Mellencamp? Jesus, let's see how old all of you people are. Who remembers that song? All right, let's. This is going to be a sneaky way to see the demo of the group here. I'm going to stop this trend. So 60% momentum and 40% retrace, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty fair assessment. So most of you guys are going to be trading the momentum labels of my indicator, which is great. And good luck to you on that. I hope you guys do really well. There are guys in my room who do that really, really well. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. There's only a way that is in sync with your personality and in sync with the market structure. So, it's one thing to say, oh, I'm just a contrarian. That's fine. But if you're going to be contrarian, you damn well better be doing it with some thought and logic behind it. You can't be shorting over here. You got to be shorting when you have signals that at least give you permission to entertain your stupid ideas. Okay, that's the key thing that I'm trying to tell you. The important part is you got to know who you are, because if you got to trade to what's easy for you. Because if it's hard for you, doesn't matter how good the strategy is, you're never going to do it. Like I don't have any fucking problem fighting the market. I don't have any problem just diving in when things are falling or selling when things are rising. A lot of people hate that. And a lot of people have no problem plowing into the market when things are rising, or plowing into, selling into the market when things are falling. Like Kathy loves to do that. So you got to know what you're strong at, and then you got to play to your strength. Find the setup that gives you the highest probability execution of that particular personality trait. The great thing about BFF is it's totally bi-directional. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The old Jerry Seinfeld joke. It is definitely bi-directional in terms of it has a setting that is a momentum setting. So if you I'm going to mute the reversal setting and go to the momentum setting, and you see if you go into the setting over here into the settings, it's in continuity or momentum mode. And if I mute that and I show my reversal mode, you go over here, I'm in reversal mode. So right now I'm just showing you the reversal mode setting, okay, as a trading. But it has a full continuity mode as well. So we're trading them both. Things kind of quieted down a little bit. This 35 found a little bit of a resist. We'll see if it wants to push a little higher, or if it wants to kind of resolve itself. I'm going to push myself just a little bit here to give myself just a little bit better chance of getting rid of this trade. Trade's been a long trade hanging a long time. So this is still going to resolve for me positively if it does. So I'll take it. And if it doesn't, then I'll have to fight harder for the trade. I don't understand this question. let me maybe you can maybe you could refine it a little bit. So where am I? Oh, we're super close. Where am I? What's my buy limit? And we're done. Okay, good. We'll resolve the trade. Now here's what I want to tell you something interesting, right? So we were short. Wait, where the fuck is this? Hold on. Oh, is this a 2 lot? Wait, what happened here? Oh, we never hit the stop. Oh, wow. I never hit the stop. I didn't even realize this. Oh, wow. We sold 2 at 34.6, right? I sold 2 at 34.6, right? And I covered it. Oh, wow. That was cool. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't realize that I never hit the stop at the 4 lot above that. So that 2 lot on the short, I actually held it, and that totally covered me. Okay, all right. Anyways, what I was going to say is, where are you? Where's the question here? Could you explain the difference between the 2 continuity trading and so forth? What does that mean between 2 continuity trading? Gilbert, let me maybe you want to rephrase that. Yeah, Fred, you see, spot does not look heavy, Boris. You mean it doesn't look like it's ready to turn? It definitely looked like it was ready to turn. So this was my sell signal over here. I got short over here. I did not get stopped out. I was able to kind of stay through the trade, and I was able to resolve this this trade over here at 34.6 back down to 33.5 on the move. I thought I triggered like a 4 lot, but I didn't, and that's why I still had the 4 lot over there. So it did not stop me out. I managed to actually just escape the stop position and then come back and make profit. So it made a nice basically for you guys to understand what happened here. Where am I? Here. It made a nice turn, barely escaped my stop, and then came back down, and we made profit over here into my beautiful Jackson Pollock painting. Okay, that was the story on gold. We are 6 minutes away from the open. Let's just check in on equities. Equities are looking fat. Equities have a sell signal here. So why does equities have a sell signal here for me? The equities have a sell signal here for me. You see how I have like a little sell signal here? Because they're like 27 points wide. The short against the long term is really wide. It's very overbought. Now, there's 2 things you can do here. You can, if you're a trend trader and you're like, Boris, I have zero fucking interest shorting S&P with you right now when everybody is buying risk, and I think S&P goes maybe to 6,100. Why the fuck would I want to sit there and fight the market like you do to do this? In that case, do nothing. That's the key thing. It's too expensive to buy the continuity trade, in my opinion, because you got all this risk. You got all that whole big air pocket to kind of have to work with if you get long over here, right? If you are, a contrarian idiot like I am, then we have to wait for the market open. I'm not gonna short into the rule. I really trying to adhere to this rule as much as possible. I don't want to short into the market open, especially because what happens in the market open is you have a huge amount of imbalance. Maybe the imbalance is on the buy side right now, and this can go to 20 points up against me. No need for me to get involved. There's, as you can see, there's lots of trades all day long. I've already made 3 winning trades in gold with you guys since we started. I haven't even touched the equities yet, and that goes back to the idea of how I build my P&Ls. I build them one little brick at a time and just try to stay green all day long. And the key thing to staying green all day long is knowing when not to do stupid things. I do plenty of stupid things, but I've gotten a little bit better at doing less stupid things, and that's actually all you need to do. This is the S&P 500. This is the ES. Okay, this is the S&P 500. E-mini S&P. During the New York session, we trade my Apex account. Here's my Apex links for all you guys who want to join the prop firm. I'm trading actually two $250,000 accounts each. I'm just working on one of them right now. I'm doing it very, very slowly. We're probably not gonna get these things funded until the beginning of the year. But I'm doing it specifically in this manner because what I want to show you, the whole idea of this journey, is so many people in my coaching, and we've funded lots and lots of accounts, and I've talked about the fact that if you really want to get a quick funding account, the best account is $50,000 account because it has the easiest risk reward ratios. This is by far the hardest risk reward ratios I've ever traded. I have only $6,500 drawdown, and I have to make $15,000. So it's a long mountain to climb to get this thing funded. But I got to tell you, at first I was kind of annoyed with this. Now, as I'm doing it longer and longer, I'm actually having a lot of respect for this process of doing it like, a dollar at a time, because the skill sets, the risk control, everything I'm getting, I feel like the skills I'm getting right now, with using all my indicator properly, I'm going to be able to use it for the rest of my life on my own accounts as well as any other future. Like, in other words, if you can pass this, it's basically 3-to-1 against you. You have to make $3 with just $1 worth of risk, right? 6,500 against 5,000. Those are really, really tough odds. If you can conquer those odds, you're going to be a great trader going forward. So I'm just trying to do this in a slow fashion with you guys. It may take us through the beginning of the year. I don't give a shit. I am in no rush. Hopefully we'll get these things funded, and then we'll trade the funded accounts in real time. But more importantly, as I keep telling everybody in my coaching, the true value of prop, aside from the fact that it's not your own money and the fact that you can get paid out, is that the skills you're going to learn out of prop will stay with you for life. What is the blue period? This is an 8-period SMA. This is a 200-period SMA. The short is 8, the long is 200. If you want the indicator, the only way to get it is to join us here. Let me send you the link. I'm going to give you a discount link. I'm happy to get you up on the indicator. It'll make your life easier, to come in and join with us, and you have the access to the indicator. To replicate this. So where am I? I got 1 minute to the open. Let's see how wild and crazy we are. Let's see, by the way, also, where's NASDAQ? I bet NAS is also high up, right? NAS is high up, but no overbought signals at all. You see how NASDAQ is just straight up money? Like, it doesn't even have a sell signal here. It's telling you, do not be a dumb fuck, Boris, and try to short this thing. Okay, here's the S&P rising on the open, 9:29:22 seconds. You will see how it trades on the open. And I gotta say, guys, God, I love trading with you guys today, but unfortunately, I got maybe about 15-20 more minutes before I gotta go because I have all these appointments that I'm in Jersey. Welcome to the having to be a homeowner hell. I've managed to spend 55 years of my life never buying a house, and then of course, my wife made me buy a house in Jersey. And now I'm just basically a general contractor for the rest of my life. So anyways, I'm going to have to go relatively soon. But today was really a lot of fun. I mean, today was fun just to hang out. I didn't expect Kay to show up. It was great to have her in the show. It was so much fun. Great to have you guys. Let me put down the 12 days of Christmas. Oops, I screwed this up. Sorry. Make sure you... Is this right? I'm just not doing it. Nope. Okay, I gotta do it on my other computer. Hang on a second. Okay, here we go. So we are open. Market kind of dumping a little bit. Not my trade, by the way. Like, if I'm gonna try to short this thing, I'm gonna have to wait until the price gets back up above the 8-period SMA. Again, I don't sell dips. I sell rips. So if this thing comes back up towards the 8 SMA, maybe 75, 74, I'm happy to initiate a short condition. As a matter of fact, let's get into it. Let's get into it here. We are going to be, let me see if I can lay it out over here. Oops, no, wrong one. Shit, am I in S&P? Which trade am I in? Where am I in? I can't tell which trade I'm in. Oh, I must have. I bought and sold at the same time. Okay, never mind. Okay, here we go. Join ask. Okay, I am short. I got long the big contract instead of the small contract. Now I'm in the proper position. I'm fighting this trend. I'm doing the sell because this thing is way the moving averages are really expanded. The condition is very overbought. So I have a legitimate sell signal here. I'm selling it at the 76s. Target is going to be 74s, and the next level to sell would be 78s, which is what I'm going to do right now. Is lay out a order to sell 8 at 78s, meaning that if it runs up against me, I'm just going to get larger. I'm going to get stopped out and get larger at a higher level. We'll see if that happens. We'll see if it kind of exhausts itself at this burst and comes back down and corrects itself. Regardless, this is a good entry trade. I'm in a pretty good position here on the trade, and so I'm happy to play the game right now. So 74 is where I get resolved for a P&L. 76 is where I get stopped out. Okay. No, I'm not trading BOC. I don't trade Forex. Kathy trades Forex. I only trade gold and stock index futures. There's only so much you can do in a day. You want to focus your attention. So we're running. I mean, they're going to run this. They're going to run this hard. Let's see if I can fight this market. Well, you know what? I just had this. I can't do it because I think a copyright infringement. I wonder if you could. I wanted how we have the video before the session starts and it has like all this music behind it. I would have loved to done John Cougar Mellencamp's "I Fight Authority. Authority Always Wins" background, but I can't do it because I think it's going to be copyright issues. I wonder if you could, if they license that like inexpensively. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, looks like I'm going to get tagged out. Let's watch this. The highs of the day is 78. Let's see what happens to me here. So again, just to kind of let you know. So I got stopped and filled at the same time. That means they reached out, they stopped me out at the 4s, and now they filled me at the 8s. So now I'm short 8s, and now we are going to go the large contract. Now we're going to start the large contract at 80. We're going to just pre-position ourselves with a large contract at 80. And let me show you the large. And now we're going to go to the. You're going to see the large contract. If I get stopped, this is the large contract at 80. Has not filled me. Back at 78s, came back down. Really, look at how we just barely, nearly came up to hit me at the 80s. Now we sold the 78s, and target is going to be 76 here on the resolution. So we'll see if we can resolve it. If we can't, then we're going to the large contract at 80, and then it becomes 80 to 70, 78 resolution. I'm just watching the mini contract. We'll see if it comes back down against us a little bit here. We'll see. It's a really strong bid in the market, very strong bid in the market. So you have to be prepared to, you got to be committed to your plan of action here. How about the red line moving average period? That's a 200 period. The red line is 200 period SMA. How about, do I want to wait for the red candle to double the position? I don't, Christopher, I don't. So, it's a longer discussion and one that we have in coaching. Do you wait, when I'm in my initial trade always looks for a confirmation, right? For a confirmation trade. Once I'm fighting the cycle, it's up to you, right? There's a trade-off. The trade-off is this. If I get the red candle, I'm going to have a higher confidence that maybe there's some kind of a top in place, right? So I have a higher confidence that there's a top in place, but I'm giving up price. I'm giving up the best possible price. Now, if I'm wrong, if this thing just verticalizes, if we go V-shaped and it's go boom, 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 no retrace whatsoever, no respite, I'm going to eat this thing. That's my risk. I'm betting on the fact that I'm not going to eat this thing for 6-7 straight moves against me, right? Because I think, we're already 30 basis points wide with 60-75. The news isn't exactly like gangbusters. I think, after all the retail fills their buy orders, the market makers are going to start taking it back. And hopefully this is what's happening right now. We'll see, we'll see if I can resolve this trade right now. But yes and no, right? It's going to torture me back and forth. But the point being is there's always a trade-off in life, always a trade-off in every single technique that you're using. So if you want to wait for this red candle, you're going to get a worse entry, perhaps a better probability, but a worse entry, right? And my style is to get the better entry and to take the bigger risk on the probability, right? I'm gonna gamble on the fact that it's not going to be a full V-shaped recovery. So it all depends on how you want to trade the technique, but technique is there. So we'll see. I'm looking for 76 bid and it's just teasing me like a little bitch. Come on. There we go. We're done. Now, very important, so I don't fuck it up. Get rid of, I'm going to show this to you. Here's the large, see, I have a large contract over here. I can actually cancel it over here. It's really cool. I love it that you can do it off the trading view as well. So don't leave your next order hanging over there. You get a hanging order, you're going to be paying for it. Trust me, because all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm in a trade at huge size on level 1. Why am I there? Because you forgot that you had a hanging order. So it's the only thing that matters. But this kind of technique of I'm always one step ahead. I'm trying to play chess with the market. I'm like, oh, you're gonna stake me out? What am I gonna do next? You're gonna take me out? What am I gonna do next? Where am I gonna be? What's gonna be my next move after I fail? That's the question I always ask so that I can try to succeed as much as possible. So pretty good. The day is now fully green. I'm up about $150 for the day. I'll take it. It's pretty early in the day. I may have another hour or two of trading by myself if I get a chance. But in the meantime, I hopefully guided you through a more intelligent path. Either, I kept you away from buying dips, which, yes, I know it would have worked. But trust me, if it didn't work, it would have been very, very painful for you if this thing started to really, really reverse hard to the downside. And again, I don't want to criticize. I absolutely, if you're a momentum trader, you should have just been buying all this stuff. You don't care about the width. You just, if you're a believer that this is going to be a strong up-day market for more than a couple of hours, great. But I'm looking at this. This is already a 2-hour uptrend. It's already really, really wide. I want to be on the opposite side of it. I want to be on the sell side of it. Let me get rid of this. What the hell is this? Okay. So do we have everything gone? Let me just make sure I have no. Yes. Okay. So I have all the trades executed. The great thing, by the way, about TradingView is if you go in here and you go into your settings in TradingView, and you make sure that when you go into trading, you click all these things on, put all these things on, you will see all the hanging orders on your chart, and you can actually you can cancel them from TradingView instead of trying to cancel them from TradeAway. So really important to do that. Somebody's saying to me, news in 5 minutes. What's news? What news do we have coming up now? Oh, the BOC rate decision. Well, yeah, we're not trading the BOC rate decision, guys. You know, that's for all of you Forex junkies. We're stock market junkies. So, just to wrap up, guys, hope everybody really enjoyed this. Somebody's saying to me, when you close a trade, you're paying some extra commission. Oh yeah, motherfucker, I pay a ton of commissions. Listen. As I said to you, everything in life is a trade-off. If you want to be green every day like I am, you're going to pay the man. You're going to pay the man so much in commissions, it's going to make you cry, okay? This is like $300-400 a day in commissions. Absolutely. Like nothing is free. You want consistency? Consistency costs money. You want big P&L with very efficient, no commissions. You're going to have lots of reds and lots of greens. There's just, the key thing in life is you got to understand what the trade-offs are, fully. Yesterday, I fucked the day like royally, and had to work my ass off. The bottom line is I had a $40 day and a $300 commission day, and I'm fine with that. I would, any given day, I would rather have a $300 commission day and a $40 day than have a $3 commission day and a $1,000 loss. Okay, given the choices, I don't even think about it. So yes, you gotta just know what you're focusing on. I'm focusing on being green every day. The cost of that is huge amount of commissions, smaller, very small trades, and lots of focus and energy in fighting the market, or staying with your process. That's just my process. Absolutely doesn't have to be yours. You can use my strategies and my indicator in a completely different manner, as many guys do. There are guys in my room that will buy this. They will just buy this at like 10 contract size and just milk the fucking thing. Just sell 2, sell 3, sell 4, and make thousands of dollars. Great. That's your personality. You go, baby. It's just not my personality. And all I can do is just trade my personality. Now I design strategies. I design, things to make life easier for you. I give you tools, but I have to stay true to who I am. So all I can do is just trade my own personality. Hopefully you guys really like that. Some of you do the exact opposite. Some of you really like my personality style, but at least you know that I'm being authentic with you guys. I'm not trying to teach you. I'm not telling you how to do things. I'm just telling you how to possibly do things and what I possibly do in terms of trading the market, because that's really what it's all about. So anyways, hopefully that explains everything. Let me just give you the links to everything one more time. This is the link to Apex. It's a link to if you want to get the indicator, and of course the link to 12 days of giveaways. Hopefully you guys take advantage of all that. Bring all your friends. Come hang out with me. It's December. I'm gonna trade like a motherfucker for the next couple of weeks until we kind of die out. And the indicator is really mint now. I am starting to interpret my own indicator really well. I'm not trying to do, as you can see, the level of stupidity has really compressed. I'm down to like 1 or 2 levels of resolution versus sometimes 5 or 6, like I used to fight the market really hard. So, hopefully you guys will all enjoy that a lot. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Really fun session. John says, what if you don't have a personality? Everybody has a personality. Where are you in profits on the $250,000 account? I am at 256 in one and 255,600 in the other. 500, 255, 500 in the other, right? Okay, so I'm building it slow. My goal, what I'd love to do is 500 a day, 2,000 a week. But honestly, because I've been busy and because, I have been on my game fully, I've been much more like at around 1,500 a week, right? So if I can do 2,000 a week, it's 3 or 4 more weeks and I can get those accounts funded. But I tell you, I'm loving the journey. Like I love the fact that I have such incredible control over the P&L. That to me is worth like its weight in gold. because I feel like I can take that control onto any account. I have, and you know, I do the same thing. By the way, if you guys come join me in London, I do the same thing on the CFDs with Bitcoin and gold, because that's the same level of control that I'm able to do. But I actually have better tools there for MT5 that you know make my life a lot easier. So come join me if you want to hang with me in London for trading CFDs. But on futures, you know, I really feel like I'm in good shape now with this with the BFF. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great day. We do it again tomorrow. I'll post up. I haven't posted up the session, but it's going to be 9:15 as always. Come join me. Bring all your friends and come hang out with us for the 12 days of trading. Should be a really fun season. Thanks again, everybody. I'll see everybody a little bit later. Take care.